just a quick little video to share with you today. This is in regards to being a top rated seller on eBay. Some of the requirements to get there and also how to keep it. And it's very important for your eBay account. If you're new to watching any of my videos, I sell full time on eBay, and I also sell some on Poshmark too, but we'll get right on to it. In regards to top rated seller, if you're new to selling on eBay, it's something you want to strive for because there's benefits to that. And one of the big benefits is that you get a discount on your final, final value fees that you get charged, from eBay, the percent. And then also it's supposed to move your listings up in the search, when somebody's searching for the items. It's really important. There used to be there's always, sometimes the requirements change, but these are all some of the basic ones I just wanted to mention to you in case you weren't familiar with it, or if you weren't sure on how to keep it once you get it. And you'll know by when you are looking at your eBay page and you click on, my eBay, and it brings up your home page, and it'll have your sales, and if you have anything to ship, and it has all the stuff there. If you go over, I think it's now on the left, and you scroll down a little ways, it's what's called the seller dashboard. And if you click on that, then that will tell you where your ratings are at with the top rated seller. And if you are one, and when what it looks like it'll be the next time that they rate it, and I think they do it once a week, and then also it gives you all of some of the areas that you need to be paying attention of to make sure that you are staying top rated seller and what the qualifications for. Anyways, you'll know once you get there, you'll see it. It's all laid out. But anyhow, in order to get top rated seller, if you've not ever, reached that status yet, is that you want to get, you have to have, I wrote this down and now I got to try to read the writing. Did you ever do that? I was writing really fast and it's like, what? Now you're looking at it, you're like, what the world? Anyways, you have to have 100 transactions and $1,000 in sales for 12 months. And if you think about it, that's, pretty easy to obtain, it really is if you're selling, unless you're only selling once in like a blue moon. But, and if you're doing that, only selling one thing once in a while, it probably wouldn't matter except for, moving your items up in the search. But as far as the fees, maybe it wouldn't make a huge difference. But when you get to where you're selling on a regular basis, this fees makes a difference. And getting your listings up in the search really makes a difference, especially if you're selling. I sell mostly clothing, and it's very competitive. There's a lot of people that are selling clothing, so you got to do what you can in order to get your listing seen and things like that, because there's a lot of competition. Anyhow, those are two requirements that they have in order for you to get to the top rated seller. Now, as I was mentioning, when you're on your dashboard, they have some different categories you can click on and check to see where you're at, and it'll tell you what percent yours is at. Like the first one would be tracking, whether the tracking was uploaded on time or in a timely manner. And if you click on that, it'll, on the very top right, it'll have what your percent is. And then if you click on that, then it'll say what percent you have to stay above in order to stay top rated. If you go below that, then then you're not going to be top rated seller. And then also, if let's say if it's you got to be, I'll just use this as an example, like 95.0%, and yours is at like 99.0, and you're thinking, well, should be 100%. Well, it'll tell on you. You can click on the little button that says report, and if you click on that, it'll tell you like what item it was that maybe didn't get, this particular example is that the tracking didn't get uploaded in time, and it'll tell you which item it was and when it was. And I think they were supposed to fall off every 3 months. Like this would be refreshed. Like if you have something on there, like one item that the tracking wasn't updated in time, then it's supposed to fall off. I think every 3 months, and unless they've changed it. Another one is that there's a defect rate, and you can click on that. And this is really important. You do not want to have defect rates. And how you generally get a defect against your account, I think they changed it. It used to be different, but now lately, for quite a while now, maybe a year or two, they've been it's been on if you cancel a sale. That's like one of the biggest defects that you can, the biggest culprit, it seems like, for most people. And what that means is that if you have an item that you sold, and then you go to your inventory and you can't find it, and you have to cancel the sale, not the buyer asking you to cancel, but you have to cancel the sale. Or maybe you go out there and you find it in your inventory, but you see that it's damaged now, something happened to it while you had it stored, and you have to cancel that sale. Defect on your account. And it only takes a very teeny percent of your sales to fall under top rated seller on this category. And if you get very many of them, they could probably suspend your account for a period, maybe a short period of time, and then probably close your account. This is really important. You got to really, pay attention to this. And I know it's a bummer, because I don't think it should be on this merit. Now, I do understand that eBay doesn't want to have a lot of sellers up there having stuff to sell, and then they're just canceling sales all the time, and then you have your buyers that are unhappy. And because they get discouraged, they were looking forward to purchasing the item. They were very happy they found the item, possibly, for the most part, and then they're not going to have the item, so they're not going to be happy. And I understand that from eBay's standpoint of view, but I'll tell you what, okay, if that's the case, though, they should give you a little bit bigger margin on this one here, because I kid you not, I have tons of sales, and I have one defect that got canceled for some reason. And I'm really still not sure how this got canceled, because I usually do a bunch of other things to avoid, having to cancel a sale. But it's showing that it canceled a sale, and it was months, a few months ago. It's still within that 3 months or whatever. And I should have wrote it down, because the percent of staying top rated in this one defect, it moved it a lot closer. I mean, probably it would only take maybe one more to fall under top rated. I think that's ridiculous, because I have tons of, when I say tons of sales, I sell on an average anywhere from 5 to 15 sales a day, 7 days a week. Times that by 4 weeks in a month. That's a lot of sales for the month, and then do it by 3 months, because that's what this is, under 3 months, when they're doing this evaluation for the top rated seller. I think that percentage should be a little higher. Now, if the buyer asks you, if they for some reason change their mind, or they seen something that's not going to work for them or whatever, and they will ask you to cancel the sale, that's all right. It does not affect your account. It does not give you a defect. But make sure when you do it, when you go there and you have the choices, just double check that you click on buyer asks to cancel. Then it's fine. You don't have to worry about that. Now, another one is late shipment. And, you can upload that tracking. And there's a lot of controversy on this portion of the category, because let's say you sell stuff over the weekend and you're not going to ship until Monday. Okay, now, when you're on the site and you're getting ready to print, in a little box about halfway down, I think it is, right? Somewhere in the middle, it'll say what day that you're going to ship on, and you can change that, but just manually it's going to be there. It's always going to be there. Like, my account is set up that I ship every other day, I ship every day. Sorry about that. If it sells one day and then it's shipped the next day, I guess the 1 day handling is what it's considered. And if you print those labels out on the weekend, you still have until Monday. Don't worry about that or anything like that. But you just got to make sure that you stay within that time frame. And but okay, you went ahead and printed the label, you put it on your package, and you're getting ready to take it to the post office, or you're going to have them pick it up. If for some reason the post office does not scan your product, your package, or don't pick it up, but if they have it and they forget to scan it at that point or that day or something like that, and it doesn't get scanned till the next, movement that it makes in the post office, if it doesn't get scanned on that same day, then it's going to show that it was late, because eBay banks it on when the post office scans it. Even though I have next day handling and I print that label out, I could print out the same day or that morning. Unless it gets scanned by the post office, it's going to show late. So you got to make sure, and you got to, really try to have great relationships with your post office. I take all my stuff, and now there's sometimes they ask if I have a I forgot what the word is for it. It's where you have one page, manifest page for all your shipping, and where, that way they can do like a one-time scan or something like that. I, one, don't like that. And two, the only way that I can see on eBay that you can print that out is if you do bulk shipping, which means you print all your shipping at one time. I don't do that. I ship mine individually because I'm double checking, I'm doing the weight, I'm double checking things as I go along, because I just estimate the weight, and then when I get ready to ship, then I actually weigh it on the scale, unless it's something particular, making sure if it's under or over priority, or if it's going in a box, then I, obviously would weigh it out when I list it, but it's up to the individual. But I do a lot of clothing, so a lot of times, I can almost guess really close to how many ounces it weighs. Anyhow, I don't know about that. And they kind of give you a hard time about that. As far as I know, it doesn't matter. It's not mandatory that you have a manifest sheet. They have to scan it, as far as I know. And, they may try to give you a hard time or whatever. And now they haven't mentioned it again, because they mentioned it, I think one did, and I don't know if the other one did. And now they're doing all right with it. But I have a really great relationship with the people at the post office. Anyhow, that's one of the other categories for top rated. You got to stay, because it'll show your percent on there if you have one or two. And then, what you have to stay above, to stay top rated. Another one is case closed without resolution, and without seller resolution, it says on there. And that's where somebody opens up a case, or eBay opens up a case, and you don't either respond in time, or I think it's even if eBay sides with the buyer. Pretty sure if eBay, if a case gets open, this is different than a return. If somebody's just returning something and you get it returned, and you go, even if it's item not described, as long as you issue that refund in a timely manner, as soon as you get that return, before the required time that you have to, issue the refund, and eBay a lot of times will let you know, then that just closes, and that's not it. But if a case is open, or if it's one of those returns and you forget, or you're not paying attention, and you don't refund it in time and you meant to, and you already received it, and then eBay may let you know, or you're not paying attention and that time passes, that case can close against seller because you did not refund it, and eBay's going to close that case in favor of the buyer, remove the money from your account, and you're going to get, that is pretty sure that's also a defect on your account. But it will make you drop under, top rated seller if you get very many of those. You really, really want to avoid any cases closing without seller resolution. And I know about this whole return process, and I know eBay does side with the buyer the majority of the time, and I know other people will argue that. Most people understand that and agree, but some say, oh no, they fight it and they win or whatever. You can, and you can appeal, or you can, when it's a case open, you can present your side or whatever, and that's really great. But just remember, you are taking a chance, because if you present all that and they decide no, you can say, okay, well, I'll just refund. No, if they decide that no, they don't agree with you, case is closed. It's against a check, it's against your account, and that ain't good. Then that, hurts your account. So it depends. You got, it's almost like sometimes you gotta, just decide. Like when I'm selling clothing, is this $15 item worth taking the chance? Now sometimes it is, and believe me, and I've had some that was for more too, but that's just, use your own discretion as a seller on that. But that's what I mean. It's just like, you got to sometimes make choices, whatever. There's other things that too that affect, staying top rated seller. And I think to get, I should have looked it up before I started the video today on doing this, but also I think you have to, I think, offer returns, 30-day returns. Now, I kind of play around between 30 and 60 day. I don't really like the idea of 60 days because I can't stand returns. And when you sell clothing, you just have returns. I cannot tell you how many just go, oh, I changed my mind, or it doesn't fit. And usually they say that men are less likely to return stuff. I had a man send a shirt back and he said it didn't fit, it just wasn't flattering on him. Okay, maybe he did write that, but unless his wife wrote it for him, who knows? But it just didn't sound like, I'm not being, stereotyped, but it just, I don't know, it just surprised me that, a guy would write that, whatever. But anyhow, it's just like all these excuses, just like, oh, I just changed my mind or whatever. And remember, I'm offering free returns. That's another thing, whether you offer returns and whether it's free returns. All these things, play merits against your account or for your account. And if you think about it, you are on eBay as their platform. The more you comply with the things, the features that they offer to make it nicer for the site and for the buyers, because that's what they're focusing on, remember, and they are, then the more you can apply those things, it is going to move you up in your, I guess you could say like favoritism. It's not really favoritism, but it's the way the system's set up. The more people, like that's how come sometimes I will offer that 60-day return, because it's like they offer it and they really are wanting that. I think it's ridiculous. I think really returns should be about 15 days. But anyhow, but I change it between, 30 and 60, different times. But offering that and it was hard for me to offer the free returns, and that means where you're paying return shipping. That was really hard for me to do, because I thought, oh my gosh, that's expensive, because almost anything you ship out, even if it's a top, it's like what, $4.98, $5.90, whatever, it adds up. And if but I will say, and I have to admit, for the most part, since I turned on free returns, I got more sales, and those more sales covered any of the returns that I did get. Now I do get returns. Oh yeah, there's always a few every week. Always got anywhere from 2 to 5 out in there. It seems like, and I just get rid of them, and they're off, and all the returns are done. Then you get another one. I can't tell you how frustrating that makes me. I cannot stand returns. However, it's part of the game. And if you're going to sell on their platform, just, keep this in mind, because these are things that they're wanting. That, offering that free return. And then also, I think you have to offer 1-day shipping in order to get top rated. But that's another thing, regardless if it's for the top rated, it's something that they like. Now, I would, some people, I guess, could do same day. Some of my stuff does get shipped out the same day if it sells in the morning and it's before I ship. It just gets, usually, everything that's there, I always ship. Generally, always, even if it just sold, and I have till tomorrow to ship it, I still ship it, that. But anyhow, these, if you think about it, these are the things that eBay's looking for. They're looking for, a decent product, and being honest about your product, when you're selling something, let's say if it is a top or whatever, and you list any flaws that that it does, so that it has, so then the customer knows when they're purchasing it. That's what I mean about that. I'm not saying people are being dishonest, but just disclose things are like that. But the things that are going to, I think, move you up in views, and also, to get more sales, because that's what we're all striving for, especially if you're doing this for a business. You got to think of all this stuff, because I know you sit there and go, oh my gosh, this is a lot. I don't know if I want to, do all this. I just want to list stuff and forget about it. Oh yeah, we all do. We all would really like that. However, there's a lot more to it. And anyhow, but these are just some pointers and things to think about. One, it's important to stay top rated seller. And then two, some of these other, things that eBay's looking for. They're looking for, next day shipping, just 1-day handling time. They're looking for free returns, and probably between 30 and 60. I don't know, make your decision on that. But I will say that, the percent, yeah, like I said, it did go up a little bit, for the returns, offering the free, but I got a lot more sales. instead of that. But and then, regardless of anything else, and like I always say, and I'll add it to this video too, is to list, because the more you list every day, the more sales you're going to get every day. Hands down, regardless. I sold in the last couple of days. I have sold stuff, and it wasn't like anything like really spectacular or rare, but I sold a couple of items. I think two the one day and one today, or reverse, either two today or one yesterday, that I just listed the night before, and they were just very average, like tops. They were. It was women's clothing. So I mean, it just goes to show you, if the customer's looking for it. But the more that you list every day, the more you're going to sell every day. It's just part of the game. But anyhow, hopefully this has been understandable. If you have any questions, write it in the comments, and I'll answer the questions the best that I can. And anyhow, many prosperous sales to you. Thank you.